there are also rumors that Scarlet Witch might be the next big villain, perhaps the next Doctor Strange film.
Obviously, those rumors have not made their way to you yet.
But yeah, would you be excited to play a villainous character?
Well, sure. I mean, the thing that's fun about Scarlet Witch is that when I entered, or Wanda, when I entered the MCU, it was through being a villainized character that ends up going over to the good side. And so and also in the comic books, because of her inability to control her own power, she became dangerous in different ways. So I have no idea where people take it's not in my control, but yes, I think that would be really cool. I think she plays both sides in the comics, and of course she should in our franchise.
Thanks so much for your time here today. That's Elizabeth Olsen, everyone. Catch new episodes of Sorry for Your Loss.
There's a really popular theory kind of that I've seen, and I also kind of buy into this, that this could lead to Wanda sort of unraveling into like a villainous sort of role, where maybe, I don't know. But could she, do you think that's a character who could pose a threat to Avengers and other characters in the MCU? Because I know this goes straight to Doctor Strange.
Well, she had posed a threat. That's how she started, and with her anger towards Stark, and she had, she started as that rebel, and then she realized that the power she was fighting for wasn't the actual good, and so that's why she became who she is, and whatever fighting for good means evolves over time, I guess. But I think she found the Avengers to be the side of good.
I can't wait to see more of this show. I mean, I know we gotta like dance around these things. I get it.
How has that been for you, instead of the traditional kind of Marvel thing where we know to anticipate the bad guy is coming? Because here we don't know what the bad guy is.
That's what is fun about the whole journey of the show, is the tug of war between the sitcom world and the what we know is like the Marvel Cinematic Universe world, and that tension between the two and which world kind of wins out changes throughout our show. I think, as you can see at the end of the third episode, it's quite a different transition, and we do that throughout the show, those kinds of shifts, and it all eventually unravels and everyone has the answers, but it's quite a journey to get to that point.
Fans are going to want to know all about the villains. The villains in these movies are as important as the heroes. What can you tell us about the antagonist of WandaVision?
What I think is really fun is someone the other day said, usually when you watch these Marvel movies, you know kind of when the villain is going to appear, and you kind of know the villain before you even watch it because of promotion or trailers or the story. And at the end of episode 3, you still don't really know what or who the villain is with our show. And I just think that mystery, I would love that mystery to continue for as long as we can, until it's revealed, or whatever is revealed.
There's a big skew on trying to figure out who is the bad guy. Is Dottie the bad guy? Is Agatha Agnes? Who's in the bumblebee catcher's protective gear? Who is the bad guy? But there's not as much conversation as who are the good folks. You know, we kind of know Rambeau. We know her history of where she is in the Marvel Universe and who she is a child of. But all of these other characters, we don't know if they're good guys, they're bad guys, are they extra, are they pawns? Is there a good guy? Because we know there's obviously going to be a bad guy. So is there a good guy?
Well, I mean, I love this question because what it points to is that, you know, we're trying to explore, you know, the full spectrum of human behavior, and it maybe isn't so simple as good guy and bad guy. You know, I think what makes characters interesting is when they're flawed, and what makes a story compelling is when you fully understand a character's motivation, even if you don't agree with it. If you can understand it, you know, I mean, I always, in working in the Marvel space, I think about Killmonger so often because he's probably my favorite MCU villain because you understand him so fully, and so many of the points he makes you actually can't really argue against. And I think in when, you know, when something is that good and so fully realized, the sort of good guy bad guy falls away a little bit. Anyway, so I love that question, and I feel like, you know, with our show, it just continues to have nuance to it.